by the way, I am Sanket. I run a company called Scandalous Foods. नहीं हम लोग MMS clips नहीं बेचते. We sell Indian sweets to the restaurant industry with a 6-month shelf life. Anyways, so today in association with Thai Delhi, in fact, today I as entrepreneurs we have to wear many hats. Today I'm wearing a hat of Thai Delhi as well. This is the first food network event that we're doing at Thai Delhi in a long time. I remember हमने जब पहला food network event 2020 में किया था in Bombay. I could see the undercurrents that it was all about surviving. Today, the undercurrents that I'm seeing is it's all about thriving. All of you guys are obviously having breakfast and not listening so much to me. But I know you guys have not come here to have carbs and proteins. You guys have come here to, network with each other and, I think collectively fuel the ambition that we have for the food service and the food processing industry. Hats off to Nitin from Thai Delhi and Gitika from Thai Delhi to, pull this off within a week of doing this. And of course, my co-panelist Eashwar and Mira to, agree on over just a WhatsApp to do this. Ashu, as usual, wants his name to be spoken about. Ashu showing his hands from there. Anyways, so welcome to the first Food Network event happening at TiEcon, Thai Delhi. And hats off to you guys for making it at 9 a.m. And yeah, without wasting more time, let me introduce my co-panelist for this event. So how we are going to do this is, so the whole idea was actually to make you guys meet each other, which you guys have obviously been doing since the last half an hour over breakfast. So we're going to have a very quick Q&A with Mira and Eashwar over here. And then again, of course, it's going to be all about meeting each other and getting the best out of each other, right? So to begin with, I would like to introduce Mira Jhala. She is a serial food entrepreneur based out of Gurgaon, but she's a global food entrepreneur. She sold 2 food companies in the past. Currently, she runs FroGo Foods. It's a fabulous frozen marketplace. She's the biggest cheerleader of frozen food in India, and Eashwar frozen food is amazing. And Eashwar, I think, needs no introduction here. Most of you guys are running your kitchens and sitting here at ease because Eashwar's machines are working in your kitchen. And if you guys do not listen to his talks, वो IoT बंद कर देगा तो थोड़ा बातें भी सुन लेना. So yeah, Eashwar is founder of Mukunda Foods, the pioneer of kitchen automation in India, a very close friend. And his machines are there in over 28 countries, and he's obviously made our Indian startup ecosystem really proud. And why don't Eashwar and Mira join me on stage? Yeah, I think let's sit like thoda close only, otherwise. Oh, you want to start? Yeah. You guys are mics, super. अच्छा, by the way, we didn't have so much time to discuss के Q&A में क्या करेंगे. So मतलब आप सब हमारे ही लोग हो, हमसे भी एक ही fraternity के हैं. तो please fill in with your Q&A. आप लोग को इंडस्ट्री के बारे में क्या जानना है या क्या बताना है. We are very happy to answer your questions while we are speaking here. So Mira, why don't we start with you? You've had a fabulous journey. I mean, every time I meet you, it's I go back with 2 extra learnings to Bombay. Why don't you tell us, about your journey as a food entrepreneur or as an entrepreneur in whole, and what does FroGo Foods do for the people who don't know already about it?
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible now? Yeah. Yes. Morning, everyone. Pleasure to be here, and I'm glad to see so many people interested in the food industry and food business. Happy to be here, Sanket. Thank you. So I have spent my entire career in the food business. I've had multiple businesses in this industry, and currently I'm on the mission to make frozen foods accessible to the country. Frozen foods has, uh, over the years increased, exposure in this country. However, there are a lot of misconceptions about frozen foods. At FroGo, we are building a distribution and supply chain business to enable frozen delivered frozen. We are on the mission to demystify frozen food and make sure that the customers receive the products as they are intended to be. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mira. So, Eashwar, why don't you take us through your journey from your college in Chennai to where you are today?
So it was 2014, I guess, and that's when I thought I was in engineering in Chennai, and I thought, let's make money in food because I could see McDonald's, Domino's, Subways selling pizzas, burgers in a McDonald's kind of a fashion, and nobody doing that for Indian food. I thought there's a big space to sell dosas, idlis, and really make a bunch of money selling food. We had our first outlet in Chennai where we opened an outlet selling food in a QSR format. But we couldn't scale it because maintaining consistency and quality as we scaled became a challenge. People used to come back and say, yaar, maza nahi aa raha hai. First outlet was good, second outlet was not good. Morning the food was good, evening the food is not great. And then I was a sticker for NPS. We said we should do something about it. And being an engineer, I made a machine to make dosas automatically. Some of you might have heard this product called Dosa-Matic, which was the world's first tabletop dosa making machine, which we made. It was not intended to sell, but it was for our own use case. But one thing led to the other, and eventually many of our customers who bought Dosa-Matic came back to us and said, can you do something in other spaces? Like Sagar from Wow Momo said, yeah, do something in automation for momos. Chayos, Nitin, Saluja and Raghav said, chai ke liye kuch bana do. Then we worked with biryani brands. We worked with Jaydeep from Rebel. He said, Fasos and Bheru's biryani are unable to scale because it's very skill intensive, can't do anything. So we worked with a lot of customers to build a lot of cuisine specific brands. To cut a long story short, today we have automated biryanis, burgers, sandwiches, pizzas, Indian gravies, and a whole bunch of stuff. We have about 10,000 restaurants, a lot of brands using. You might have eaten food from our machines, might or might not know it. If it was good, it's because of the chef. It's bad, it's because of the machine. So that's what we say.
That's being very humble. One of the few engineers who's used engineering knowledge to build machines.
I'm the sales guy. My co-founder is the engineer.
Amazing. So, while we see a lot of seasoned campaigners here, and they obviously, probably may not need our advice, but obviously there are many young food entrepreneurs who have also come here. So, Mira and Eashwar, why don't you, you guys have had such a fabulous entrepreneurial journey. Why don't you guys speak about your 2 key takeaways from each of your journey, and how has it shaped your current company the way it is today?
So the general, advice that people give is follow your passion. While that's good advice, I feel in the long run, what really pays off is to ensure that what you're addressing, what you're building for, is a large TAM. It should be a large enough market that you're addressing. And the business fundamentals of Dhando does not change. You have to build with profitability in mind from day one. So as you're building, do something that you enjoy, of course, but make sure that there's growth and scale that that business can achieve, and make sure that unit economics are in place. Those are my 2 key learnings.
Yeah, so it's food, and I think we work with a lot of food brands and taking out examples from some of the brands I really love and love working with. I think many successful brands in India, especially Indian-born brands, they focus a lot on the back end, the kitchen, more than they do on the logo, the front end, the brand, the marketing. And I've always seen when you focus, especially in food, on backward, like 80-20, they spend 80% of their time on backward, like how is the supply chain coming, how is their kitchens being designed, how their equipments are being placed, how the food flow is moving, how the staff is coming in, going out. When they're spending more time on that than figuring out what's the next big burger or the next big trend, what should I sell, in terms of, well, that's important, but I've usually seen people who are very finicky about their back end do extremely well with their brands, be it using supply chain from someone like you, or working with us in automating, or really focusing on the food. Some of very, very successful brands, like we have Ritesh from Biryani by Kilo here. The amount of time he spends on getting his one biryani right, he was telling me the story, right? It took him almost 2 months to design one biryani when he started. And that's the amount of time it took to build like a few 100 crore business. I think focusing on back end in food is the key to success, if you ask me.
Amazing. So, I mean, when we talk about the food business, I don't think we can say that, hamara taste best hai, ya, whatever, because that's, I think, a given. The taste and quality has to be good. I know you use a lot of data and analytics to get the supply chain right, because you're predominantly a supply chain player. You've obviously done, like so much work, with respect to bringing in automation into the industry. What suggestion would you want to give to food entrepreneurs? Like what key things that they should concentrate on apart from the product, because that's a given. वो तो आपको करना है. But like for example, I remember I had this long conversation with Amulik from Chai Point, and like आधा घंटा he spoke about cash flows and finance, and I was like, wow, I mean, the first time a food entrepreneur speaking about finance and not about chai kaise banti and all of that, which really really amazed me to think that way. So what are the key things that you guys think about while in the business of food?
Sure. So I think we have seen the recent headlines ki same store growth in a lot of listed companies is not doing great. The likes of Domino's, KFC, the stock market is doing, and is the industry slowing and stuff like that. And then I spoke to a lot of Indian F&B entrepreneurs. Let's take the example of burgers, right? We have the likes of McD and all reporting negative sales growth. But you have the likes of brands like Burgrill, Good Flippin', Burger Singh. They're doing tremendous growth. We have Shrey here from Burgrill. He was saying double-digit sales growth. That's huge. And I was trying to understand how a global chain is not able to do, but Indian brand is doing so well, expanding but doing so well. I think the key to success, what I've learned is trying to understand the Indian consumer and innovating for that very fast. Understanding Indian flavors, Indian palate, and creating a product, and that agility and ability as an Indian F&B brand or as an entrepreneur that you have is tremendously high, which global giants will take a lot of time to do, right? They'll need global approvals, they need this. And by the time you do it, मतलब पहले होता था कि they were setting a trend and Indian F&B brands are following. But today it's the other way around. Indian brands are setting the trend and then saying, oh, we'll also do a tandoori pizza, or we also do something what an Indian brand is doing. I think that is really helping. And if you're able to be really, really agile in terms of understanding the palette and launch those kind of products with very strong consistency, I think that's really working well.
So using data has to be driven for a certain outcome. How we do it in FroGo is we define our output metrics and carry it backwards to what are the input metrics we need to achieve the outcome. They have to be very driven by the exact outcome you're looking for. For example, if the problem in for our brands in frozen food, if out of stock is a problem, we use data analytics to do forecasting demand to a degree where we can incrementally impact the out of stock numbers. So anytime we are using data, it should be driven for a specific outcome and not just as a vanity metric. Frozen food itself is a $20 billion market in India, almost equally split between export, HoReCa, and retail. It's growing at an 18% CAGR year on year. The convenience of frozen foods is what the consumers are looking for today. So to use that data to exactly figure out what are the preferences of the consumers and what are the products they're looking for and address those is how we use data.
I just want to add a small point to that. I think when you said data, I think with the Zomatos and Swiggies coming, there's a lot of data which, very simple data which a lot of brands don't look. What Google had done to the search engine marketing and the display marketing that's available for you at Zomato and Swiggy, right? Many brands don't know what's their open rate, what is their click to cart to sale ratio. Is 15% open to cart is good? Is it bad? What's the amount of revenue they are getting without spending on the marketing dollars? Once a dollar has been spent, how much repeat you are getting? What's the lifetime value? I think those data are really available, and that is wow. Like if you just open a dashboard of a Swiggy or Zomato today, the amount of data is insanely high, which gives a lot of insight. For example, is a Indranagar customer looking at samosas at 12 in your menu? Should you put it up? I think that data is really available. All brands need to do is use it. And I'm seeing that many people are not doing it. They are feel ki paise pheko tamasha dekho. That doesn't happen. There's a lot of math also that is available, and that's beautiful today, right? If you know that this outlet is doing well, this outlet is doing bad because of this exact reason that's available on a platform today, that can also be adapted to your QSR business. And I think the amount of insights, Sanket, you have run your own cloud kitchen, is insanely high today.
Like some amazing points, yeah. So I think instead of me asking you guys questions, why don't we ask our our lovely audience to ask you guys questions? And it necessarily doesn't need to be a question. If someone wants to get your idea validated, or you have like a very strong point about our food service or food processing industry, you guys are welcome to throw those questions onto the panel. Easy होगा तो मैं बता दूंगा, difficult होगा तो ये लोग बता देंगे. So yeah, go ahead. Like, who wants to ask a question?
Hello, this is Gyan Vardhan. I'm a business journalist at Tracker. I do cover early stage companies over there. So my question will be the two panelists over there. So thanks for invitation, and thanks for giving me the chance, Sanket, to raise question here. My question is to you, ma'am. I love to hear your competitors from your mouth. So co-founders, founders are the best people who can describe about their competitors. And if you're finding competitors for you in this space, what are the differentiator you kept to differentiate from other guys, other players in this space? Please, ma'am.
Great question. So competition for us is anybody who sells frozen foods, anybody who sells an ice cream, your corner cart or kirana store, or the quick commerce players that are out there. Everybody is our competition. The D2C brands that have their own stores, the ice cream parlors that exist all over the country, they're all our competition. However, what we have seen over the years is that the supply chain for frozen foods is highly broken. There is huge temperature breach and loss that all the frozen food products go through. So what we are fixing is using tech to enable supply chain to carry these products at the negative 18 degrees where it needs to be, and make sure that they reach the customers at that temperature, so that there is no compromise on taste, texture, or hygiene of the food.
Yeah. Thanks, Gyan, for your lovely question. I think there is
Welcome,
someone
Sanket.
behind you.
Hi guys, my name is Anish Kindri. I run an IT company, so that's one of my core business into. And another passion is actually into the food and beverages, so that's why I was actually here actually on this. So I ran a Playboy, a beer garden nightclub in Gurgaon. So that's one of my passions. So though I don't drink, but I would love to, be like into this passion actually on this. Okay, I think what like Eashwar said, like the automation is something which is being needed actually out there because we are totally dependent upon the chefs, right? And being like an owner of the club, actually, I can easily make it out like who has cooked the kebabs or something, food like that. I think this is something which I would like to get connected with. Maybe like Mira, you, so maybe like you as well, and Eashwar, you as well. So let's see how we can leverage the technology or the kind of the automation, what we can do it from a branding perspective at least. So that's something which I'm looking at. Yeah. So that's like a comment actually. And what else, Eashwar, maybe you can do it from a clubbing point of view. Let's say like we launched a 1 meter long kebab, that's something like innovation from like our side.
I'll give you an
Anything that can be
example
done? Yeah.
of a brand in Jaipur.
Yeah.
They're called Kebabs and Curries. Very legendary brand run by Varun and his team. About 2 years back, they approached us saying that, hey, we want to scale this, not able to go beyond Jaipur. It's a very good club in Jaipur, you might have known, and we helped them, put their whole kitchen together. And they're initially wondering, "Ki yaar, ye nahi chalega, my quality, taste, and all." But I think their approach, I think that's the history. But today they are expanding to 15, 20 locations, right from Manipal in South India to Delhi. Now they have couple of places all live where you can see everything. Their kebabs, Indian gravies, their dal makhanis, butter chicken, everything is automated at a very great price. I think what really matters is the founder or the entrepreneur wanting to do, right? And not eliminating the chef. The moment you eliminate the chef, you'll never be able to win because the chef brings the art, the machine brings the science. You will still need culinary arts in your company, but not at outlet level, at your HO level. And when you marry these two, you're able to really scale. I think the entrepreneur's vision ki mujhe karna hai, rather than saying that let's try it out. If you try it out, it's very difficult to make it win. But if you want to win using frozen, fresh, plus automation, that's I think is going to work. Even if you try to introduce frozen and said, yeah, let's do chicken biryani frozen for a week, the team might figure out ये नहीं चल रहा है. But if you're able to take a step कि मुझे करना ही है, you'll figure out that आपका rating is improving, your NPSs are improving, your costs are reducing, and usually I feel that's a good way to look at it.
No, that's good actually. I think the basic point is to maintain the consistency, right? So that's where actually, the automation might play a good role actually out there, right? So let's do it. Maybe after this meeting, maybe let's get connected all and let's see how we can leverage that. Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely. So I think let's, you have a question. So we'll take this last question from this gentleman.
Hello.
And, I think, and then we'll stay true to, what this event was meant to be, like networking with each other. So, I think we'll all leave this stage after this and, go in.
Hello, my name is Dr. D.L. Sharma. I have innovated a edible biocide, which means you kill the insect and then the rest you can take it in. So that we have applied for tomato and without freezing, we have kept it 3 months. It was stable with the edible biocide. So can we use this edible biocide for such a this deep freezing, and this is not possible for farmers, and to make it low cost, this we can try that edible biocide, that is a perlactic acid, so which will not allow bacteria to remain there. So it will be zero bacteria and it will remain, if you do pack properly, it will remain zero. So no need of deep freezing and freezing or anything. Only thing is that it is a biological, there will not be any change. Only change will be a physical or chemical. It will be hard, will become to slightly soft. So can we try, or what is your view?
So if you're saying that this is to increase the shelf life of perishables and largely produce, fresh produce.
It will make a zero bacteria, because in frozen also there will be bacteria, but it will not grow. But here it will be kill all the bacteria, it will remain as zero bacteria. There is no bacteria, there is no decay.
We should definitely try it. Yes, would love to connect with you.
So, as per my understanding, doctor, I mean, of course, so this in a way becomes an additive, and I mean, I think mostly, it's it's something called hurdle technology, right? You create more hurdles to increase the shelf life. So usually, nothing works in independence because when you have killed the bacteria, you will obviously have to have appropriate packaging to keep it away from oxygen or to add carbon dioxide to it. Because with oxidation, I am assuming bacteria will again grow. But of course, I mean, I'm no expert at this. You've obviously done your research.
This was an innovation. It
Right.
is IIGP, India Innovation Growth Program. We were selected as selective innovator, and we have also shown this to Stanford University, and that also that we have kept tomato and.
I think most of us in the back-ending space would want to connect with you and understand more on this. So happy to meet you.
We also developed one oral sanitizer, means on the carbamide peroxide, first time in India we have developed.
Sure.
And that carbamide peroxide we have made in glycerin, it was mouth sanitizer and tooth whitener. Whereas this Colgate is using hydrogen peroxide, that is very dangerous.
Sure.
So we are having talent, but it is not being promoted. That is the problem.
Amazing. It's amazing to see so much knowledge in our industry. On that note, thank you, Eashwar and Mira, for taking out time and speaking about your experiences in the food industry. And what a lovely audience you guys have been. And we look forward to chat more with you guys while we are on the other side of the stage. Thank you.
People at the back, if you can move towards the front seats, I think it'll be helpful. So just 5 minutes, bear with us. I know we're running delayed, but just 5 minutes and we'll get started. Thank you.